Oh, actually, I need to pay attention to that guy. Whoops. Oh, I see. So I actually have to pay attention. Okay. Huh. Okay. Yeah, like what did he say? Yeah, it was too late. That is kind of annoying. You can't go back and look at it. So yeah, so apparently I need to do like certain things in a specific order to make him comfortable. Then I can do it. Um, and then I can trim his nails. Because I remember him trimming his nails, but I wasn't actually like paying attention. Like I wasn't committing it to memory. I was like, okay, I'm just enjoying it as an experience. Just enjoying it for the ambiance. Like, oh, okay, cool. This is what we're gonna do. But I didn't think it would be like actually care. Oh shit, Knitz is not up yet. Oh fuck. Okay, well I can't do that. I'm gonna have to change my title when I throw the VOD to YouTube then. Crap, I actually thought I could. Okay, so I can't do his quest until either this afternoon or tomorrow. It's probably tomorrow then. Okay. Okay, well then I'll just hop to dailies and then zip on back to Final Fantasy. I kind of want to do. I want to do Kenich's thing right away because I only need 200 more points to complete the completely level my the Canopy Tribes thing. Timed it or I planned it so I was like, oh cool, like I can use Kenich's character quest as the final thing to level it to max. So I held off and I worked on the other tribe. But now, so I was like, oh cool, I can do it today. But no, I can't. Oh, that was kind of annoying. So I missed the first one because the weird angle I got on, I wasn't able to move when I wanted to. So I wasn't able to course correct in time because it forced me down a path. Whatever. Like I think I end up with like an extra 12 or something that I think the max number for this is like 52, so missing one doesn't really matter. Oh, yeah, whoops. I forgot these guys don't have any bonuses. Shit, did actually any of my characters, do any of my Natland characters have bonuses? I guess I only have the two. Kinich, or not Kinich, Milani and Gina. Whatever. That was nice. See, like that's why I like that's why running with people is better. Like like the last time, I got annoyed. Well, not the last time, but one of the more popular times I got annoyed for running co-op with party members who just like for people who are just kind of assholes. Either assholes are stupid, right? Like either they're assholes where they're intentionally choosing, bad characters, or they're selfish people. Which I'm asshole, right? You're selfish. You're doing a co-op game and acting selfishly. I'd say that's being an asshole. Um, but people are like, oh, well, you should just not do co-op then. It's like, it's not a problem with co-op. It's not like 9 times out of 10, it runs perfectly fine. 9 times out of 10, you get all people who know what the fuck they're doing, who know, how to play the game, who are like, oh, I'm going to be, who know how to play the game, who know how to like party comp. Like this could be risky because we are all DPS, and this has moments where like you have to be very, very careful about yourself. Like if we have no healer, you can't take any damage, because any sort of damage will fuck you over. Because you have to do everything yourself. And the type of enemy we're fighting is not that hard. It's the fire one is actually one of the easier ones to do. But like right here, right? You can't take any damage from this shit. So you have to get the fuck out. And if you don't, and you could be like, oh, that's fine, right? Like, especially in that first round, nah, no problem, right? It's just physical damage. The problem is for this phase. When he transitions to phase 2, he'll do fire damage, and that's the one where if you get hit even once, you now get a fire debuff. Yeah, so now he's going cryo. So now they got to get the fuck out. If they don't get the fuck out, they're going to take fire. Oh, see, like, yeah, 2 of them are already inflicted by fire damage, right? Which is like, the problem with that is it's a dot. If you'll just take continuous damage for a long time. And therein lies the problem. It's just risky. But yeah, I mean, it's like, it's whatever, right? Like, a lot of cryo people all together, it's fine. This one's relatively fine, but and I wouldn't say like we're bad together. It's like, yeah, having a bunch of cryo is fine. Having a Eula is like whatever, right? But we have a child, so we have a water user, so like that's fine. Shit, I got hit. Oh wow, the child survived. That's kind of surprising. I'm not surprised the other 2 dying. I mean, actually, I'm not surprised at any of them dying. They're all melee. But yeah, generally, ice is actually the element I hate the most, is because it's one of those things where you have like it's really a huge pain in the ass to dodge, because it's like these icicles, so it like lands and then does radial ice out from it, but it's like it's hard to get the time to dodge correct. I think there is a proper way of doing it where you like, if you manage to dodge into the center as the icicle is dropping into the center, you can dodge. Like that's a full dodge. But it's the kind of thing where you don't really want to test it. Maybe it's the kind of thing I could do solo just to get the timing right, but like just to learn how the timing is until I can do it 100% of the time. Because that's the tough thing, is you either got to continuously run, which drains your stamina because those things are fucking falling way too fast. Like, there's just way too many of them. Like, and you could be like, oh, well, it's because you have, like, lots of players, right? They scale it up for the number of players there, and it's like, no. That's the number that are there regardless. Like, that number always is there. So, like, that's the shitty thing, where it's like, oh, god damn it. I forgot about that. Okay, so I'm going to have to log in later today. And I mean, I could, I guess, spend... Actually, fuck it. Let's spend one of these. Fine. Doesn't hurt. But yeah, you get the people who complain and be like, oh, like, what? It's kind of like... not really ironic, but like... they complain and say, oh, well, you shouldn't rage out. I would argue that I'm not raging out. I'm just upset and annoyed. And sure, I might sound super pissed or mad, but it's like, no, it's annoying. I vent out my frustrations and I forget it. Like, it is what it is, right? And at the end of the day, it's like, I understand that it is what it is, right? Like, it's not going to change anything. I'm just doing it to vent my frustrations, and that's all. But you get people who are just like, well, I can't vent. Anytime I vent my frustrations, anytime I'm upset, that's clearly when I'm like ridiculously pissed. And it's like, no, not for me. It's just a vent for me. That's all it is. Lots and lots of money. Leveling up talents takes a shitload of money. Leveling up characters also does. And so people are like, and then like in the comments, people were like, "Oh my god, like I can't believe you're this pissed over this." It's like, I mean, I'm not like super pissed. It's annoying, sure. It's annoying that it continuously happens too. But it's again like people just read too much into it. They're like, "Oh well, clearly this is him completely baby raging," you know? It's like no, it's just annoying. And then you get really stupid takes where it's like, well, this is like some people are like blaming me essentially. Yeah, it's my fault that other people are stupid because I'm engaging in the system. Yes, clearly that's the case. Yes, it's my fault for engaging. Right? Like, how does that make fucking sense? It's a system in place. Like, if people are dumb, they're dumb, right? Like that's just how it is. Like, it's not my fault that other people are dumb. I likened it to because they were literally saying like, oh, you know, it's my fault because I'm engaging. If I don't want to deal with this type of shit, I shouldn't. That's what you're at. I shouldn't even play. Like, I shouldn't ever do co-op. I should just go solo. And it's like I understand the very concept of it. Like yes, that is one of the that's one of the ways I can control the situation by by doing it. Sure, 100%. Very, very true. But like the thing is, yeah, I can do that. Like, shit, killed it. Damn it. I wanted that to be the finisher. Like I can obviously choose not to engage. I could choose to only do things solo. But like, and if co-op was always like that, sure, right? Like, why continuously do something that always makes you upset? Obviously, yes, that makes sense. But as I said before, it's like a 9 times out of 10 thing. 9 times out of 10, you get a good set of party members, right? Party members that can do well enough, and now you could be like, well, like in that previous run, it was after like those 2 people died. Like, yeah, they died, and that sucked, right? Like, that's not good. I'm not saying, those people dying was in any way good. But it's also like not the end of the world, really. Oh, there's another one. Wait, have it. Like their horror play only matters as much as it matters, right? So like if Child was also dead, so essentially if all 3 of them are dead and it was just me and I'm like half health and stuff, and I have to basically like beat the rest of the boss by myself, yeah, like I would have been annoyed, right? I was already kind of annoyed when I saw that they got hit by the fire, because like the fire is actually one of the easiest ones to avoid. What's over here? Like the fire one is super easy to avoid because it's like it gives you a huge warning. You can just stay out of it after that. Like it's very, very easy to avoid. So like when you see people get hit by it, come on, dude, like you really got hit by fire, because like it also warns you. Like when it's about to do its like stomping, it gives you a warning, gives you plenty of time to get the fuck out, especially because the first hit is usually the weakest. So it's like usually a smallest AoE. So you have plenty of time to get out of the way. So the fact that they still got hit by it is like, come on, dude, like you should just be waiting for that thing to appear. Once it appears, get the fuck out. Like you should never take damage. So the fact that they took damage, it's like, okay, whatever, right? But we were still pushing DPS pretty hard. So it's like, it's whatever, it is. who cares? But you know, still not the best, right? And they could have been better. But it's like, let's kill some elites. Let's kill some of these guys. I need to kill more. I'm not sure which one of these. I think I probably need to kill more of this for Kachina, but I need to kill more of these for maybe, what's her name? This way. Is it there? Yeah, there it is. So yeah, like I'm pretty fatalistic. It's like I understand that it is. Oh, I missed. I gotta kill before you shields. Anyway, so, but yeah, like, oops, let's get off this character. I don't want to have that heal detract from my bond of life. So yeah, like so obviously, you know, if they had sucked, so like that clearly shows like, yeah, you're not the best, but it's like it's not like the worst either. Ah, shit. Oh shit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. A little puppet. So yeah, this is a good team for killing these guys. And like 9 times out of 10, it's like no issue whatsoever. And that's why like I do it. And also generally it's just more enjoyable. Like despite how annoyed I get when it goes south, one, it doesn't happen that frequently, and two, it's just generally more fun to play like one character you like, or one character that is good in a particular. What the hell is that there for? One character you like, or one character that's good. Or one character you like or that is good, and then it's just more enjoyable all around, because like you have let's get off that character. This actually I probably didn't need I have a bow user with the yeah. Just wait till our thing comes up. Because like the cool thing, like by yourself is fine, right? Like you can do it by yourself. It's not a huge issue. But like one, it's all you, so that sucks, kinda. Like so, it's all about your skill. So if you suck, then you get fucked. It's that simple. And like so you have to constantly swap. So you have to be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be this character, and I'm gonna swap to this, and I'm gonna swap to this. You have to maintain your tight rotation of shit, which is not like a tough thing to do. It's just like it's the basics. It's just kind of what people do. It's not hard, particularly, but like it's just something like, okay, like to do maximum damage, you want to make sure your supports have their bursts and skills up. Like for this kit, Parlatina, for instance. Parlatina, for instance, like without Toma's shields, she might be taking a lot more health damage. She might need to do a burst more frequently. Without Yelan Xingqiu's Hydra application, she will clearly do a lot less damage because she's not getting any of those vaporize. Like not just the damage from the skills themselves, but she's not getting like the vaporizes and shit. So she's not getting all that shit, right? So it would clearly be much harder to beat this if I didn't have those guys with their buffs and stuff. And that's just kind of how it is. Like for Arlecchino, it's a slow build. It's a slow build, or I have to do her skill, then do Toma's skill and burst, then Xingqiu's and Yelan's skill then burst, make sure they have enough energy, to have their bursts up by the time Arlecchino's done with her shit. And then, oops, this way. And then I can swap to Arlecchino and then do a charge attack to absorb her Bond of Life and continue her attack. Yeah, it's a good, like, 10 seconds before she really starts winding up. Which is... Which, yeah, it just takes time for her to wind up and shit. Which is fine. I'm not complaining about it at all. But it just takes time. And there definitely can be moments where you get screwed. Where it's like, oh shit, like, the enemy runs away by the time you're ready to do your... This way. By the time you're ready to do your abilities. And that sucks. But, ooh, it's 10,000. I'm going to get 10,000 more from that. But, like, when you do co-op, essentially, like, let's say this, I'm doing co-op and I'm Arlecchino. Oh, fuck. That'll start... If I'm doing co-op and I'm playing Arlecchino... Oh, shit. It already started its shielding phase. Fuck. Yeah, okay. Thought I would have time to get her burst off, but I lost it before. Anyway, well, like, let's say I'm Arlecchino. Hell, let's say I'm, like, anybody else, right? I'm any other team member. If Yolan's always there, constantly doing her skill and burst, Shincho's always doing a skill burst, he'll just do it off cooldown. Same for Toma. As Arlecchino can just focus on my own shit, and I can constantly keep my... Like, they're constantly keeping up Hydro application. I'm constantly doing my Pyro. Same for Toma as well. So it's like, you know, it's just really useful. Let's go and do... I think I need some more of these guys. I think Kachina needs those. Yeah. So, and so that's why I like co-op. Because I can be my one character. I just have to... Oh, fuck. I hit that. It's probably gonna... That's, oh, fuck. I started a quest. Wait, what? Yeah, that's a tough thing. Okay, I'm gonna... Oh, I see. It shoots her eye. Oh, shit. Oh, wait. Was this a quest I... Wait, did I know about this quest? Yeah, I'm assuming that quest is gonna, like, blast me out and get me able to hit that. Anyway, so I'll get that later. I have the quest marks. That's all I need. But yeah, like, the whole benefit of co-op is that you can be your one character. Other people can get all the application for you. And you don't have to worry about it. You know, like as Ganyu, I can just focus on my charge shots. I don't have to do anything but charge shots, and that's it. I don't have to do anything else. I just be Ganyu and be charge shot. You know, that's all I have to do. And like that's why it's so cool and fun, because like, and that's why I don't like. It's not like why I generally dislike all DPS teams. The reason why I dislike all DPS teams is not because like I don't understand, you know, how fun it is and everyone's desire to be a DPS, but the reason why I just generally discount it so much is because you just get a lot of dumb people who are just doing it for selfish reasons. Who are just like, well, I want to be DPS. That's it. I don't want to have to. I don't want to be support. Like, and then they die. So like the problem with an all DPS team is just not that we're all DPS. Like I've had some all DPS teams that fucking crush it. You know, like I've had some 4 DPS against Raiden, Ymitra's domain, and we fucking destroy her. You know. So like, and some domains are easier that way. Some domains just all, like especially that Raiden one is like you can just blast DPS flat out. Like you can do so much DPS in the beginning, it doesn't even matter. And like nothing else really even matters. So you can actually like just push it and have her die super quick. Oh fuck. There's two of them. That's killed someone good. And on to the next one. Okay. So like there are definitely times for it. There are just certain bosses that just like don't really, or like strategy kind of matters a little more. Like against the Wanderer weekly, is that you having Electro in that fight is bad, just because like there's one phase where you need to defeat those Electro constructs to be able to smack him out of this huge burst, huge blast, and if you don't do that, you're kind of screwed. So when you have people who are just like, oh whatever, I'll just do whatever the fuck I want. And I'll be Electro, or you see even like 2 Electros in a party, and you're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we can't have that many Electro. You know, we can't have that many Electro. We can, but like, that means, you know, the onus is on the non-Electro players to, oh, it's a lot of rocks here. Let's go get big rocks. The onus is on the non-Electro players to be like, oh shit, you non-Electros need to survive, because if you don't pop those constructs, you know, game over. And I've had times where I fuck up and I die accidentally early. Well, I would call some bullshit when I'm just like being targeted by these huge AoEs, thinking I can maybe get off a charge shot. Like obviously I'm just being greedy. Like I should have just stopped charge shotting and focused on just surviving. But like there are other times where I'm the only like where I'm like not on you, and I'm some other team, and I can't destroy the construct, so we have to rely on like one other person to destroy it. Like I've had the times where I'm a selfish person where it's like, oh shit. Like I've had times where I'm like, oh, I'll be Fiorina, right? Fiorina will be helpful. And oh, wait, no, that's not. I don't want to navigate to that at the moment. I'll do it, but just not right now. I just wanted to interfere with my markers. Okay, that's up there. That's below, right? Okay, so I have to go up here. So I'm like, oh, I'll be Fiorina, right? Like, oh, that's a huge buff. Everyone's great. And there's only like, and then someone's like, oh, I'm gonna be Nouvelette then. It's like, great, but Hydro can't destroy the Electro constructs. So now we are putting the onus on the other 2 people to survive. And if you know, and that's assuming that both of them are also. Okay. Oh, I think both got marked. Okay, where is it? There it is. Okay. So yeah, like it's putting the onus on both of them, and I've had times where it's like, yeah, shit, like we do this, we act selfishly, and what happens is that we get screwed. And that person dies because they're an idiot. Obviously, it's their fault for dying. Like, don't die, dipshit. But like, the problem is that now we have to fucking do it again, or you know, you just get people like that. And I just think, you know, you gotta pay attention. You know, don't be DPS if you can't stay alive, for one. Like, he needs some health. Like, because that's the tough thing. It's like I just get worried when I see all DPS, because it's not like all DPS can't do it. Lots of times they can. The problem comes from, oh fuck. There goes my bond of life. Get away, get away. Oh good. I was far enough from it that it didn't start healing me yet. The problem is with DPS, you just gotta have make sure everyone like can play well and doesn't immediately die and can essentially self-sustain. Like if they've created the backpack, they have their food set up, they're ready to insta-pop their food when they're low in health, and that's why I get like really apprehensive whenever I see Arlecchinos in the field, because it's just like, yeah, you also, as an Arlecchino, you also have to be able to self-sustain. If you can't self-sustain, you're fucking over the entire team. Because like you have to be able to, one, stay alive, and two, make sure to heal yourself. Which is like, yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world. I get it. Like it's tough. Oops. It's tough for Arlecchinos. Is that like you have a lot of shit to deal with? Oh wait, this is above the ground. Okay, fine, sure. I can just fall down. So like, oh wait, there's one over here as well. I'll get that one. That's the one it's directing me to. Oh shit, there's a lot of these guys around here. Okay, never mind. Oh wow, are these all alive? Or is it just one or two of them are alive? Ah, shit. Okay. That's kind of annoying. I was wondering, like, why is it not coming alive? I'm like, oh, I see. You're just being kind of annoying about this. I have to kill those little random things to count. Okay, so these things are all of them are alive because it's been directing me to other spots around here. Okay, let's see. Let's pop up. You live? Yep. So yeah, like it's just all about like you're gonna be in co-op, be a team player essentially. Like that's all it is. Like my biggest complaints are just like, please be a team player. Like it's not just about you. Please try to choose party members that synergize well together. Oh wow, this is a holy grail place for these guys. There's like a shitload of them all around. There we go. There's one here. Oh, I see. It's probably going to be another one of these things. I have to pop. Oh wait, no, it didn't come alive. Shit! I was expecting only to come alive once I killed those, like the other times. But yeah, like it's just all about being considerate. It's like, oh, okay, they're going to be this party member. It's like, okay, well, in my part, the person I chose is not going to be it doesn't have great synergy for these, so I'm going to choose somebody else. Like that's all it is. That's all I'm just saying. It's just like, like, I get you want to play Arlecchino, but like, Arlecchino in some of these co-op maps, like, Arlecchino against Arlecchino is fucking rough. Because, like, Arlecchino, as the weekly boss, does a fuckload of damage, also puts Bond of Life on you, which is good for Arlecchinos, but the whole point of Arlecchino's mechanic is you want to be able to heal yourself out of that Bond of Life, and once you've healed away the Bond of Life, your next charge attack will do a shitload of extra damage. And you're like, oh, that's cool then. But like as an Arlecchino, as player Arlecchino, you can't get healed by other party members. So that means you have to heal yourself. Which means anytime you get that Bond of Life, you have to have your burst up to heal the Bond of Life away, so that you can then do a charge attack. And therein lies the problem. It's like that's kind of fucking tough. Because like you're probably not going to have your burst up. Wait. Oh, here it is. You're probably not going to have your burst up 24/7. You're probably just not going to have the energy for that. Like maybe you have a good party comp where like you have a few other pyro people that are constantly supplying you energy particles. Sure, right? You maybe have a Bennett constantly doing his skill and burst, and he has the Favonius to get even more particles. Great. More power to you if that happens. But like, far more often than not, you're just going to have a lot of people who are not going to be able to do that. So it's like, it just means that Arlecchino is a bad choice in that situation. Same for Ajda. Not a great unit. Like, just melee in general against Ajda is kind of shit, because like, he's just so much more dangerous in melee range. And then combined with Arlecchino, who can't be healed in between phases, you know? Oh, I'm level 50. Who can't be healed in between phases, like, that's rough. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do, right? So like, therein lies the problem. Just with like, it's not guaranteed that it's going to be bad. Like, I've been in Arlecchino parties where we do well, right? It's not like, oh, you're Arlecchino, therefore you're going to suck. It's just that, oh, you're an Arlecchino, therefore, whereas another character, maybe like another DPS character, because support needs less skill, even more. Like maybe a normal character needs like 5 skill to do well and be fine. Arlecchino might need like 7 skill to, to not die. And so it's just like, yeah. And let's just assume, like, skill levels are perfectly balanced, right? Like, 10% of people are skill level 1, 10% of people are skill level 2, etc. That means, like, on a base level DPS, it's 50% chance of whether they survive by themselves for DPS, or any character that doesn't heal, essentially. You're essentially saying, okay, you give 50% chance of surviving. Arlecchino has a 70% chance of dying, 30% chance of surviving, right? And of course, this can be helped, because like basically what having a healer in your party does is essentially it just says, hey, having a healer in your party essentially says, okay, we're going to lower the skill level requirement for this boss by 2. Like, we're going to, and that's assuming a healer that doesn't suck, right? Like a healer that actually knows that is properly healing and isn't just like screwing around. But like, again, that's kind of like a percent, like they need, like a healer might need like level 2 skill to survive. So you have that 10% chance of just having a shit healer, right? But like 9 times out of 10, your healer is going to be good enough to keep you alive. And a good healer, or at least a decent healer, like lowers the skill level requirement of beating the boss by like 2. So whereas a DPS might have been 5, you needed a skill level of 5. Now they just need a skill level of 3, and a perfectly even distribution of skill levels with a 30% chance of them dying, 70% chance of them not. More DPS that are alive, the faster the boss dies. That kind of shit. So it's all about kind of like probabilities. Obviously, I'm generalizing a lot. So I'm just like saying, these skill levels are completely arbitrary. The distribution is completely arbitrary. All that shit, right? I get that. It's just a general frame of reference. So I'm just saying that, what's wrong with these guys? I'm just saying, like, it's not like they're bad. It's not like, I'm just saying, like, when I see party members choose like really poorly synergizing ones, I'm just like, shit. Like, that took something that might have been like, especially when it's like when they're already in a party comp that's good. They're like, oh shit, this is a good party comp. And then then that one character swaps something that's bad. It's like, great, you took something that was like a 70% chance of victory to like a 50% chance, right? Or you took something that like lowered our skill level requirements for this boss from a 5, but from a 3 to a 5 again. So it's like, yeah, we had stuff like that, where it's like, if I'm, just trying to be simple and keep it with like numbers and shit, that's basically it. Where it's just like, yeah, you took something that was, going to be super easy comparatively, and you just made it harder because of your selfish choice to be this other character, right? Because you wanted to play this character and you didn't want to play, and then I get annoyed when like it's these people who, especially when they were a character, I think yesterday, someone started as Seguin, a healer, right? They were started as Seguin. Then they swapped off of Seguin to someone else. And you're just like, why? And they swapped off in a way that we had no, or Actually, wait, no, we might have had a heal. I think someone swapped a gene at some point, or maybe maybe I'm mixing up party members. Uh, but basically, it was just like, ah, damn, I missed it. I was trying to rush over quickly enough. It's because he died. His shield popped too soon, and because he was standing too next to the tower, so he wasn't able to get closer to me. And usually, that one will run closer to me while I'm wailing on the other one. Bad luck that time. Anyway, so like yeah, it just sucks. Sometimes when you're like, oh shit, like, oops. This one's faster actually. You know, when you see them swap off, and you're just like, oh great, like this, we had a good party comp. Like if you had just stuck with that character, it would have been a pretty easy clear. You know, good chance of success. And then you swap to the last second, and now our chance of success went down. Like, doesn't feel great. So generally, I'm just like, yeah, you know, and that's why I just get annoyed because it's just like, come on, dude, like just like it takes you like no effort, especially when it's them swapping off a character they were already like the guy who was Seguin swaps off with Seguin. Like, why? You clearly had her built. Why? Like, she was level 90. Like, shit, that would have been fine. So like when they swap off, that's what kind of annoys me a little more because it's like, come on, dude. Oh my fucking god, just do your fucking thing. Jesus Christ. That is the kind of annoying thing about this game. Is sometimes it registers I'm button mashing to do my normal attacks, but if I hit them too close together, it's like, oh, okay, you want to start your charge attack, or you want to start your charge attack, which has this ridiculously long wind-up animation, which is a pain in the ass to get out of. Yeah. And then you get the morons who are just like, well, you should just not do co-op then. It's like that's just a dumb sentiment because it's just like saying, especially when they're trying to see like that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to run in closer to me, so that like that. Especially with like that sentiment, because like if the sentiment was like, oh, you should just not do it. You're the one putting yourself in that situation. You know, you can't complain because of it, which is of course stupid, right? Like, I mean, if you're living in the United States, and maybe not a populated city, a super populated city with a good public transportation system, you drive, right? Well, that kind of sentiment is like saying, oh, you know, you got into a crash on the street, like your car got run into. Well, that's your fault, right? Like you put yourself in that situation of driving. If you didn't drive, then you wouldn't have gotten into that accident. It's like, yes. But most of the time, I don't get into accidents. Most of the time, people know how to drive properly. Most of the time, people don't suck. So to say that it's my fault because I come across a situation where other people sucking ruin my experience, like, how is that my fault? Because I put myself in that situation. I mean, it's like it's dumb. It's like, and sure, you want to argue that it's at least partly my fault? Fine, sure, yeah. Like, obviously, if I didn't do co-op, that situation wouldn't come about. Just like how obviously, if I never drive, I don't get into car accidents. It's that same ideology, right? It's the same logic. So yeah, sure. Of course. If I never did it, it wouldn't happen. But there are benefits to doing it, just like there are benefits to driving, right? You need to drive because you need to get to work or this, that, or another thing. So like there are lots of reasons why everyone does all this shit. It's 300. Need a lot of these, I guess. I'll just have to. So yeah, I mean it's basically that. So while people are like bitching and moaning, saying, "Oh my god, I can't believe you got so upset," it's like it's annoying, right? It's a waste of my time. It's because I value my time. I don't really like it being wasted. It does suck when someone chooses a selfish choice, and because of that selfish choice, I now have to because of that, 23. Because of that selfish choice, I now have to work harder, perhaps. Maybe it's work harder at the game, right? Like I have to concentrate harder, do this, that harder, whatever. I have to pay more attention, whatever. Also, it just increases the likelihood of failure because it's not just me. It's me and a bunch of other people. So it's like, it's not just, oh, poor you, you have to work harder, you have to pay attention, you have to play your class better. It's like, yeah, sure. But I'm not so terrible where that like is a deal breaker. I'm not so bad where it's like, oh my God, now I have to pay attention. Holy shit. Clearly we're going to fail. It's like, no, I'm not like I'm not terrible. Oh shit, I need to farm more of these too. But simultaneously, I'm also not the only one there. So it's like, it's not just me who has to do better. It's everyone has to do better. And the more people that have to do better, the more likely it is to fail, right? The higher you require the skill cap to be for success, the more likely you're going to have failures. Like, Lost Ark is a very good example of that, where it's like, yeah, like, Lost Ark raids are no joke, This is not like other games that have just much simpler mechanics, simpler raids and all that shit, where it's just like, oh yeah, beating it is just normal. Like, you could kind of say WoW, but WoW has different difficulties on their raids, but you could say it's like doing a normal raid. Like a raid on normal difficulty in WoW, it's like, yeah, you're not going to have much death. I mean, you could also say like normal mode Final Fantasy raids as well, where it's like, yeah, beating a normal mode raid is not super tough. You might have a wipe or two, especially in the beginning when everyone's learning the mechanics. But generally, once you get past that first week or two, you're rarely ever actually wiping. Because people know enough people know the mechanics enough, so they just don't die as much. That's generally what happens. I guess I could do another one. So that's kind of what happens. When I was like Lost Ark raids, it's like no, like those things are fucking tough. And sure, eventually you can get like high enough item level where you can push the boss further to deal with less mechanics, but a lot of their mechanics are just like insta-death, where it's like, oh, whoops, you failed the mechanic, okay, you wipe. So it's like, yeah. It's not like other things. I mean, it's like pretty much every game is like that. Any game that has some sort of progression system, you get high enough level. You get a high enough level and you'll be able to push through it. Genshin kind of doesn't do that because like there is a cap. There is level 90. There's only so good your equipment can be. So there is kind of a skip. Kind of something like that, but even still not. Regardless, it's the kind of thing where it's like, I mean, like Final Fantasy is not like that in the sense that your class doesn't really matter. Like, it's not like you picking one class or another for Final Fantasy is going to like fuck over the other people. Now, there definitely are, classes that do better damage. And so in the party finder, you might still see people being like, well, actually, we don't want this one class, right? You can get that. But generally, it's not really common. WoW is, I think, much worse in that regard, in that they do, because of the disparity in power levels between classes, there definitely is some of that discrimination against certain classes and builds. Lost Ark? Kinda. Like in theory, you can do any party of 8 do a raid, but then they still also, most party members usually also try to make sure that there's like one support in each class, in each half party, each party of 4 when the 8 go in. So like there's a support for each one. So obviously that means like 25% is going to have to be support, and then there sometimes can be like people saying, "Oh, we don't want this class to be in our party just because they aren't as good or the skill ceiling is higher, so it's more likely to get a player that sucks." So you do get some of the discrimination, although Lost Ark's discrimination mostly comes from just it's like rank or something. There's it was the number. I forget what it was called, but it was like it's the rank experience. It's like it's the number you have that associates like it's a rank that increases with everything you do in the game. So it's much higher for players who've been playing the game longer. It's not renowned. I think it begins with an R though. But basically they were discriminating against that. So like there's discrimination no matter where you go, And for this game, it's just like it's not as it's not as sweaty, so I can understand why people would be like, oh well, you shouldn't care as much. But it's like, yeah, generally I don't care, but like when I do care is when you're like wasting my time, right? I just want to pop in and do this real quick. Like, the whole reason I'm doing it in co-op is because co-op is usually faster. It's easier and faster and more fun because like I can focus on my one guy doing my one thing and just focus on doing my big damage numbers or helping support and all that shit. So it's just easier to get into and more enjoyable, and then it goes faster because like everyone's applying their elements all simultaneously, so you're just getting far more reactions at once, which means far more damage. So it's just much more enjoyable. So like it does suck when I get screwed, and I get people who just like yesterday we had that one level 80 Sethos. So it's like Sethos can kind of do damage, but not really. Like Sethos has these like two weird builds. Neither of them are really that good. And it doesn't help that they're 4-star. So like their raw stats are worse. And they have two builds, and both of them are kind of weird anyway. So it's like generally it's not a great, like they're kind of a sub DPS, but they're not really a good one at that. So it's just like, yeah, that's kind of a weird position. Although to be fair, I've never played Sethos, so maybe there are some cracked Sethos builds out there, and people are doing crazy things with Sethos. Like I know people are doing crazy things with like physical official as well. So it's like I see that like these things can happen. I get that. So it's not like it's 100% indicative. Oh yeah, it's this character. Obviously, it's going to suck. But like being a Sethos in a party that doesn't really like, and no, it didn't really suit the party either. Like it didn't really fit the party comp. It's not like we had like 2 Electro and 2 Hydro, so we were able to get a shitload of Electro Charge. Like no, it wasn't like that. It was like we're all over the place with our party comp, and so it's like this level 80 Sethos was just chilling there. It's like, dude, why? Why are you a Sethos? It just, and like it's a level 80, so it's like they could not be ascended. So like because when you ascend, you get a little bonus in whatever thing you do. So I'm not sure what Sethos is. Actually, wait, I guess I could look at Sethos. Where is Sethos? So here's Sethos. If I ascend, his elemental mastery goes up. Okay, so like yeah, you see his elemental mastery goes up, and that kind of shit. So it's like, oh, I actually can't ascend him. I have the parts for it. Oh. Yeah, like, and for her, it would be geo damage. So, like, if he's not ascended, if he was level 80 and not ascended, he doesn't get that final elemental mastery bonus. He doesn't get that final bump to attack. Like, right here, you can see his base defense goes up 33, his base attack goes up 14, his HP goes up 600, approximately. So if he is 80 and not ascended, he doesn't have those bonuses that he would get from just ascending it, even if you leave him at level 80. And then, of course, there's just stat bonuses you'd get from leveling from 80 to 90. Like, you'd just get increase in defense, attack, and HP. And your base attack matters because that's what a lot of stuff scales off of. It's your weapon attack plus your base attack from leveling. And then all the attack percent bonuses and all that shit get based off of that base attack. So it's like, you want that to be as high as possible. So, like, you come in with a level 80, so we can't tell if you're ascended or not. The fact that you're level 80 suggests that you just aren't built. Like, you aren't built, because you can't crown, like, at level 80, even unascended, I think you can get your talents to like 8 or 9, but you need to be you need to ascend to be able to crown your talents. So it's like, we know you don't have crown talents. You might not even be able to have level 9 talents. I'm not 100% sure. So it's just like, being level 80 is just like advertising to us that like, hey, it's a gamble that I'm good or not. Like, I could be shit. I could have just started building this character. It could not be properly built, but I still want to play it and give it a shot. It's just like, it's just a middle finger to the rest of us. It's like, hey, I want to waste your time for my own amusement. Like, I want to do this, and I want you all to suffer because of my choices. And maybe he's good. Maybe he's the best Sethos in the world, right? But like, we don't know that. What are the odds you get the best Sethos in the world in your party, in your random party? Obviously very unlikely. So, I could have done it, and I could have tried it, and it could have worked, and then we could have done amazingly well. Although, the other problem is the party comp. Like, the party comp was all over the fucking place, so it's like, Like, we had a Jean, I think we had a Navia. Like, we had a Jean, a Navia, Sethos, and I think I was Raiden or Furina, I forget. It was just, like, not great. Like, not a great party comp to begin with. Like, It might have been fine again. Like if he was Sethos and I was like Raiden and we had like Fiorina and Nuvolette, that would have been fine. Like that would have been like fuck it, Nuvolette and like Nuvolette can carry our DPS, Fiorina can buff us, Raiden can electrocharge and get our energy back, and Sethos, who gives a fuck about you? So we can just throw you in, no problem, right? Like that would have been fine. It's the kind of thing where it's like, oh, three of us are so good, we don't give a shit what you are. Um, that's the kind of situations where it's fine if you want to fuck about. Like if you see that you have if you're three other party members in co-op are like juicers who have like these amazingly good characters and that synergize very well with each other, then sure, yeah, throw in your random one for shits and giggles, and no one will probably care. But you know, when you have four party members that all don't synergize really well together, and you want to also be a meme character, it's like, come on, dude, like, please don't be a dick. But yeah, that is my rant again. That is, that is just my general take on the situation. Like, obviously, people are going to be like, "Well, you shouldn't care as much." Blah 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 blah. It's like it's not that I don't care. Like the only thing I care about is my wasted time. I don't care what I'm doing. I don't like to waste my time. Like regardless of the game, regardless of like what real life thing it is. I think that's why I just generally don't like traveling in and of itself, because like I don't care about traveling. I just want to be at the destination. Traveling is a waste of my time. That's something I have to do to be at the destination. I just want to be at the destination, right? Like if I could like teleport to work, that would be better because I wouldn't have to waste the time traveling to work, and that time could be then used for myself. And in a game like this, it's like like I don't want to waste my time in that. Like it's not like I dislike it, like fighting the bosses or anything like that, but like I don't want to have to fight the boss like 100 times, and like I don't want to have to spend like 5 to 10 minutes fighting a boss that can be beaten in two, and then I can do other things, right? Like I like having the options open so that once the boss is beaten, I can see, hey, what do I want to do now? I want to have some fun, not being like, fuck, gotta do this again and again until we finally beat it. So then finally I can do what I want. Like it just doesn't feel good. I just don't like wasting my time, and it just sucks when you see people who just want to waste your time, and it's not fun. And I wish they wouldn't do it. It's gonna happen because that's just how people are. People are selfish, and I mean, like, there's definitely times where I choose selfishly. Oh, I want to be this character, so I'm that character. And sometimes my people might think, oh, I'm being selfish, but realistically, like no, like when I choose Ganyu for Ajdaha and the Wanderer, even if it doesn't fit the party comp, I'll still use it because Ganyu 1 can attack from range, which is super good. She's really strong from range. She can destroy the electro constructs that the Wanderer does. So like she's just good overall, even if the type matchup doesn't work in the party, or like even if Ajdaha is resistant to ice because he absorbed ice in his second phase, or his third phase technically. Sure. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.